we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
N9ne, Madeo, well going. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But let me tell you, y'all always see us on the street and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we be a part of Boss Talk 101? This is how you can do it. Under each and every interview, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions. There you'll see all our exclusive content that y'all been saying, where's this interview, where's that interview? Members only can see these interviews. Thank you in advance. Do that right now, and we love you.
Man, check it, man. Hey, man, we in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
We done pulled up, man. They done showed us mad love down here, man. And I'm so happy to have, it's an honor and a pleasure, man, to have Kriss Kalico on this show, man. Listen, man, we down here, man. It's about to go down, man.
Cali, baby.
Man, hey, man, listen, you're a talented brother, man. I'm so happy that I got to link with you. I feel like special because and I'm not just blowing it up. Like when I listen to you, it's like, I already know this is an honor because of the talent, man. God has gifted you with a blessing, bro.
Thank you, man.
And I'm going to give it over to Miss Jamaica because I always do. I laid it first on this show.
Yes, man.
Yeah, because he dives into the music side of it and entertainment and all of that. I love to get to know the person.
Yeah.
That means more to me because that's where you started before you became who you are.
What'd you say at the beginning? I heard you say Wagwan. What'd you say Wagwan? But you said what'd you say before?
Medea, like I'm here.
Medea?
Medea.
Wagwan
Medea.
Wagwan Medea, okay. I know the Wagwan when I talk to some of my Jamaican partners, they always say Wagwan to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know nothing else.
Yeah, you like me. We had 22 years and I'm still trying to figure it out.
I know people were asking for the longest when we first started, but yeah.
Is Wagwan like where you going? What is he?
What's up? What's going on?
Wagwan. What's
going on?
What's going on?
Wagwan.
I see.
So you get it now.
All right.
So you're
welcome to the show, man. Let's get it.
So you're born here in Kansas City, Missouri?
I am. Casey Mo.
What part?
I'm from what's called out south. So I know you.
We went to 43rd. We see all 55th. We see all of those.
That's down north.
Okay, so where?
Out south, down north. So out south is just higher number streets.
Okay.
So I really came from the suburbs. Mm-hmm. My father, when I was a kid, moved us out of the hood because he knew what was coming. And
how old were you when you say a kid?
2.
Oh, so you don't remember nothing about?
No.
Okay.
No, I was from 42nd Street. Okay. I know you guys interviewed Court. And so I came from that area too. It's an area called Vineyard Gardens, which is a super gang bang neighborhood. And I came from there, and when I was 2 years old, which was 1976, my father moved us out to the suburbs, which was like South Kansas City, like, well, I mean, you're not going to be necessarily familiar, but it's like off of 99th and Holmes.
So are you his first child, or were you fall?
I'm the baby.
You're the
me
baby.
And my sister.
Okay, so your sister, how far apart in age are?
She's 4 years older than me.
So okay, so you're 6, but she's still young, so she really didn't know nothing about the hood as much.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
We didn't know nothing about the hood. We grew up, he had us, we were like 2 of 3 black people in this neighborhood in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And, so that's how I grew up. I always say I grew up in the 80s, but because that's what I remember the most.
So daddy had some money.
Yeah. My father owned his own company since the 60s.
Wow.
My father owned his own company. My grandfather owned his own company. All my uncles, like my family.
Entrepreneurship.
They were entrepreneurs. They were natives and blacks, and they, my family's blended of natives and black. You know how black folks always say, "I'm 3-part Cherokee."
Exactly. They always do it.
So my family migrated up here from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And then they started a bunch of businesses because they got that money from the reservations. Mm-hmm. So they started a bunch of businesses.
Wasn't that where Black Wall Street and all of that was from? So that was already embedded in the people up there too. Yeah, so they brought it down here.
Yeah, they came here. And then they came here and then they started businesses. Mm-hmm. And I never thought about that they may have been from there. They came from Black Wall Street's in Tulsa. They were from Muskogee.
Okay.
They came here. My uncle and all of them started businesses.
It's still for the fact Oklahoma and people there see black folks see it and seeing that I can do this. I can run my own company. So
in the 30s,
right?
In the 1930s,
exactly. But it was there.
Yeah.
You know what? So I would think that would be some more motivation for people to do so. Mm-hmm. So, but did your father ever tell you the difficulties here that he faced running his own businesses, especially being a minority?
No, and I think it's because, and this may sound weird to some people, I think it was because he was light skinned, for real. He was very, very, very light skinned. My husband always tell me that. He's like, oh, you pass, you're not going to get it like other people get it. It's a real thing. Mm-hmm. My children are both very fair skinned, my wife too. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's different.
Right.
I don't believe that it comes off as threatening as a big, dark-skinned person. I think it's a prejudgment. I don't think it's racism. I think it's just can be a prejudgment when you see somebody that's a big black dude. You know what I mean? And I got on jewelry. I having a grill in. It's like, and everything I do now is in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? Now we'll talk about how I migrated down to the hood and got into all of the stuff.
So your mom is dark.
My mom is kind of like lighter brown.
Lighter brown, because you're dark skin. So where you get your complexion from?
From her brother.
Okay.
So I look just like my mom's brother. Okay. He passed away years ago. My Uncle Fred, and Uncle Fred was a musician as well.
Oh, so you got that from him too?
Yeah, my mother and her two brothers were all musicians.
Oh, okay.
My mother has been a famous gospel and opera singer in this town for years and years.
Wow. What's her name?
Barbara Word.
Okay, wow.
So Barbara Watson Word is her name. She was very popular in the 80s and early 90s in this city singing gospel music. She taught me music, and that's why I'm a musician now.
What's your favorite song that you used to hear your mom sing that you love to hear her sing?
It's called Freedom.
Can I hear a little bit from you?
It's can I remember this? Freedom, freedom, freedom after a while. You know what I'm saying? And so she would sing this with there was a famous gospel group here named the Michael Charles Singers, and my mom sang with them. And in choir, I would be in the youth choir, and my mother would be like, for some reason she could hear if I was off key. And she'd be, Christopher, get on your note. And I hated it. It made me feel like I never wanted to do music or none of that. I'm so thankful that she taught me that. She didn't, and she drilled music into my head because that's what she knew. Mm-hmm. And I literally have had a 25-year career in music because of it.
What did your dad teach you? The entrepreneurship I understand, but what else did he teach you?
My father taught me how to be an upstanding man. He died when I was 15.
Whoa.
Wow. How?
Cancer. He died when I was 15. He moved us out to the suburbs, like I said, when I was 2. When I was 4, my parents got divorced. My mother moved right around the corner from my father because she still wanted him to be able to raise me. He was hard on me. He was a successful businessman, and I did not understand why he was so strict about what he was trying to do with me. And I didn't understand it till he was gone. When he was gone, and then I grew up, I reflected on all of these things that he taught me. I'm like, dang, he was really showing me. He used to make me come over his house and cut his grass. I ain't live there. And I'm like, why am I cutting your grass?
Boys in the hood.
Yeah, it was like boys in the hood. It was like that. I had to come over there and cut his grass and do chores around there, and I hated it.
Wow.
But I realized that it made me into the man that I am.
Responsible young
and
man.
Why even though I got mixed up in the hood for a minute, I still came back to my roots. They also raised me in the church. You know what I'm saying? And so my phone is blowing up. Today is my birthday, so people are like going crazy.
Man, this your day.
People are
Let
like,
me tell you something.
Going bananas.
I'm honored that you would come through and holler at us on your birthday on a Saturday or a Friday. A Friday.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be telling that because this might come out. Well, we didn't say what date. But anyway, man, like a Friday night. Say when your birthday on a Friday is hit different.
Yeah, but
not
I don't
for me,
do much, man.
I'm not like that.
I've been throwing a party. I've been involved with parties for 25 years, my whole adult life.
How old did you turn?
I turned 51 today.
51.
I'm 51 today, man, and I've been an entertainer since I was 25 years old.
So what's your perfect birthday night? Staying at home chilling with your wife?
My wife and my 2 sons. That's it. Yeah, man, I spent so much time away from them. You know, I toured with N9ne. I know you guys interviewed Tech.
Right.
I toured with Tech for 20 years. And so I spent so much time away from my family that all I want to do is be around them. And I have my kids everywhere with me. My son's older now, so he wants to kind of dip off on his own. But my little son performs with me, my 11-year-old. He performs with my wife's one of my background singers. She manages me. She does everything. So I keep my perfect night is me going to dinner with them and then going home and finding a movie or something and just chilling with them. I had a perfect day. Me and my wife went to brunch today and went shopping, although I didn't buy nothing. She got 3 pairs of shoes. I got nothing for my birthday.
For your birthday.
It was perfect for me, though, because I love to give. God put me here as a servant, and I love to just, you know what I mean? I love to give.
Man, I want to talk to you a little bit about just you making this transition, because you now, you're independent, but you're separate from N9ne, right?
Strange Music, yeah.
From Strange Music. Like, talk to me a little bit about, for 20 years you've been doing this. How different is it? You know what I mean? For you to, to walk away and be like, I'm gonna do it on this level now.
It was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. I've never been that scared in my life. The week that I left, make sure I ain't got nothing in my mouth.
You good? The
week that I left, I cried every day. I didn't know anything but N9ne and Strange Music, and I thought, who am I without N9ne? I didn't even know who I was without him. Because we are the 1-2 punch. We are Outkast. We Big Boy and Andre. We've been like that since, that's how I came into the industry at 24 years old. I met him when I was about 24. We started doing stuff together at 25. And now here I am in 2020, which was a few years ago. So I'm 45, 46 years old. And I'm going to go out on my own and start this whole thing over again, basically.
Scared?
Terrified. The only real reason that I knew, and people say you stepped out on faith. I tried to step out on faith, but I didn't have faith. I was scared, like I'm gonna fall on my face. But I had acquired a lot. I was literally taking notes the whole time I was there. I have notes in my phone from years ago, taking notes of what I saw Travis doing business wise, things that I liked, things that I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? And I took notes about it. And I also brought my wife in 2 years before I left. I brought her into the business because they loved her too. So when Trav was trying to actually get his daughter going in music, Krista would help do background, help kind of chaperone her and stuff like that too. And so she was learning different things of the business because I said, I'm going to have to leave and you're going to manage me. And she's like, no, I'm not. Wow. And I was like, yes, you are. She's got a master's degree in business and marketing. Every company she got with, she was turning the whole companies around. Wow. And I'm like, your last day's Friday. She would take companies in the red, put them in the black. 2 different companies, I was like, your last day's Friday, we stepping out on faith. And we stepped out, and we've been doing it for the last 4 years. And I had to do a lot of different things. Everything's on me is what the difference is. Everything is on me. I do sync music too. I do sync placements. I just got a really huge sync placement at the end of last year with Apple. Wow. Apple's whole campaign, they used my song for their whole last year campaign for 2024.
That's
the
a blessing.
Genius campaign. And they sought me out. I pitched music for sync, but they just found me out of nowhere and was like, hey, we want your song. I thought they were trolling me too. It was on the email, Apple.
And you like, what? That's it.
That's spam or something.
They ended up hitting my wife, hey, we see you got an iPhone. They tracked her down. We're looking for Kriss Kalico. He has a song called Genius. We want it. We already cutting our commercials. We have this huge campaign, this worldwide campaign, and we want to use this song. We just need to know when to send the check.
That's a blessing.
So,
bro, that's so dope, man.
It was a huge deal, man. And so I do my sync placement music through. I have a company called Earhouse. It's my company, and it's a media company. I put my music out through there, sync placement out through there. I do voiceover work. I was in the last Transformers. I play Dinobot and Transformers.
I did not know that.
I do that.
Wow.
Yeah, I do that, and then I have me and Sully have a company also. My brother Sully 4Q. We have a company called Earhouse Technology. We have a startup tech company too that we're getting ready to launch this year. That should go. It'll revolutionize the music production industry like Pro Tools did. What Pro Tools did to the music industry, our app is going to do it again.
Man, dog, I told you it was dope. I know already what I'm dealing with, man.
Yeah, right on, brother.
Man, listen, anytime on that, was it Speed 'em?
Speed 'em,
man,
with Eminem.
hey, listen, with Eminem, bro, you held your own, bro.
Eminem said.
You heard what I said.
Eminem said, Kriss got us. He said at the tech, he was like, nah, Kriss Kalico. He's like, I didn't even know who that was, but he was like, nah, dude, he told Tech on the phone, he's like, man, is that the dude that's on stage with you? He's like, he's the best verse on the song.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about earlier too. When I was messing with you, and it was on Jimmy Kimmel when I was looking you up. I've been looking. I'm excited because at the end of the day, the way you moving and you even the tiny desk, all that. Yeah, I'm like, this dude is right there holding his own, man.
I'm right here, man. I'm famous to a lot of people and not famous. I mean, it's like 50-50. Either I go places and people are screaming or people are like, who is that? You know what I'm saying?
That's that strange effect, man.
I'm right there, dude. Like, I'm right. 51. You heard me say it right here on Boss Talk 101. 51 years old is going to be my biggest, most successful year in the music industry. At 51.
That's dope.
But do you want to be famous that wherever you go, everybody just know you and everybody's screaming and it's almost like you can't leave the house type of thing?
No, because I've had something similar to that in Kansas City. Okay. I can go some places, but for years, I used to have real big hair. Mm-hmm. And for years, I couldn't go nowhere. You know what I mean? So I know what that feels like and I know how to manage it. So yes, I do, but only for a short amount of time.
How do you manage something like that? Because I always wonder that.
I know how to leave. I know how to kind of stay hidden a bit. I also know how to dress to where people kind of don't see me. If I put on regular glasses and I have my hat off, I look like somebody's pastor, and I can just move right on through. I can move right on through the crowd.
Because in today's society where everything is so social media, everybody's quick to pick up their phone and film you. You have to make sure you're always on point. Because if you look like you in rags, oh, he broke now, he this, and whatever.
People
like
they're
always saying all this crap and they'll put it out there and it end up on TMZ and it's a whole bunch of mess.
People thought, I would crash and burn. Like, man, people thought, who am I without Strange Music and Tech N9ne? And my response was, well, let me show you. Let me show you. I just never stopped. And I had times that I wanted to quit. Fortunately, I have my wife with me like you are with him, and she picked my chin up anytime I've been down. She's like, refuses to let us fail.
That's a good supporter, man.
And she'll literally do anything. She manages, she's the chauffeur, the manager, she books the travel, she sings background.
How many no's?
Anybody tripping, she's tripping. She's praying for him. She's tripping with. She's everything.
How many no's did you hear from anybody during the time of you stepping out on your own before you got those yeses? How many bumps did you have to go through? Because you said sometimes you felt like you wanted to quit. So what were some of the things that you went through that made you feel that way?
I was putting out music and it wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do. So I wasn't hearing no's because everything is under my control. I wasn't giving it to anybody to. Well, with sync music, you have to pitch 100 of those to land one. But it's so weird that I landed a few big ones. Right off the bat, I probably made a couple 100,000 just with placements. Then there was no money, and then Apple just came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Right when I'm down, I'm gonna be honest, because everybody sells you these dreams like it's all sweet. Yeah, we got on chains. These things cost a lot of money, and all of that. They do. They cost a lot of money, and I've been down to my last since I've been gone.
Whoa!
And right when I've been down to my last, and I'm like, man, maybe I gotta start selling stuff and cars and jewelry. God just blessed me with a check.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
I mean it, man. I mean it. Like out of nowhere, I just get a $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 check.
As you should, man. I'm telling you,
it ended up be a seed that I planted a long time ago. You know what I mean? So, and plus, my thing is, the reason why I know I wouldn't fail, besides just, I got grace. I don't have a lot of faith. I got grace from God.
Boy, you talking.
You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why I knew I wouldn't fail is because your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I knew I had networked all around the world.
Right.
I knew that I had made friends with everybody that I speak to, I end up being really cool with.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's because I don't talk to them about music. Snoop, 50 Cent, E40. We talked about E40 off air. E40. You name it. Rock stars. I knew that I had networked really well. And so I always did favors for people. So I had to cash in on some of them when I was out on my own. And
Let me tell you something.
I knew I wouldn't fail because of the networking.
That's God, man.
Yeah, man.
That's God. That's all that is, bro. And
I used to be scared to talk like this. I used to be scared because I was in music and some of my music is edgy. I used to be scared to talk about my spirituality and God. And now I know that I'm supposed to do it.
That's a misconception, because while you were yet sinners, God sent His only begotten Son.
Yeah.
It wasn't what you done.
Yeah.
You didn't do you didn't do nothing. You saved by faith through grace, not by works, lest any man should boast.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it ain't nothing that I tell people that all the time. She hear me tell people it's nothing that people want to make it like God is the big bad wolf and he's not going to be, he's mad at you, and it's just not true.
Because we don't know, though. The thing is, we don't know. There's no proof of anything. But I feel it is why I move the way that I move, like talking about God. I feel it.
I don't agree with you. There is proof. The word of God is proof for me.
But it's written by men.
We're not gonna go there.
But listen,
we're not gonna go there.
Why?
Because you gotta
it's
understand.
It's written by men, and men are flawed.
I get that,
so
but at the end of the day,
it brings up doubt.
I get it, but men are flawed. But God is God. So at the end of the day, whatever He does and whatever He put there, I just feel like ain't nobody could do nothing outside of what He wanted. I just feel like He's big enough for the job, because if that wasn't the case, I just can't see, as I read the word of God, men sitting there writing like this, bro. They're not that sharp.
Right.
It had to be something else.
Right.
So I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that that it wasn't a mistake here and they didn't make it to where the letter didn't carry on. Like, it was a letter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they put numbers in there.
Right.
And you move this and you put that, and I get it. But God is just like this morning. If you woke up this morning and put your pants on your legs instead of your head, you blessed, bro.
Yeah. I get it.
You understand what I'm saying? So I know that He's real, so I don't have to play with that.
I just feel it. I'm not even in the Bible like that.
Yeah.
I just feel, I know what I feel. I know what, I'll give you an example. We're just going to go on tour. Me and Tech about to go on tour. I'm in the Ozarks, which is, like the Vegas of, it sits right between Missouri, Nebraska, Arkansas, and I forgot the other state. But anyway, it's kind of like the Vegas. And I was going to the Ozarks with my family for a vacation before a tour. And we were driving, and this car, this semi was in front of us, and it was slowing way down on the highway. We're like, what's going on? He had hit this car. Car came across the median. He hit the car. Car was over here on the side, flipped over, had ejected the dude out. I pulled over because I told you I'm a servant. So I pulled over like, I don't even be wanting to do this. I'd be like, man, I need to mind my business. Pulled over, dude's laying on the ground, bloody, had fluid coming out of every hole. His ears, his nose, mouth. I see him on the ground and he breathing he looked like an animal to me that had been shot. He's breathing like,
on his last breath.
And I was like, he's on his last breath. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for somebody else to deal with this. And I don't know what it is, man. I don't even be wanting to do it. I just laid hands on him. It ain't me. I don't want to do it. I'll run from it. I'll just assume run from it. I'll lay hands on him like, oh my God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, please heal this man. It was like it was just coming out of my mouth, and he got up. I ain't lying, dude. He got up, he said, and he started breathing, and he just calmed down. I found a spot on him to touch him that wasn't bloody. Mm-hmm. And then this nurse came over and said, hey, honey, I'm a nurse. Hold on, we're gonna help you. And he cussed her out. I ain't gonna repeat the words because I'm sure y'all keep it clean on here or whatever. But he's like, F you. Wow. Screaming at her. And whenever I touched him, he would calm down and just stare at me. When I let my hands off of him, it's like he was like a demon or something. He was like, to her. And so I just kept putting, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. It's happened to me 3 or 4 times like this, man, where I'm not, God, I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I don't want that.
You can't tell God what you don't want.
But I say it. I be in my prayer like, I don't want this. God. I don't want it. And I couldn't stop. I was like, it's like something else controlling me to just keep praying over him. And dude was like calm and he'd just rest, and then the ambulance came. They put him on a gurney and I had to let off of him. They're like, sir, you got to take your hand off. I'm like, he's going to go crazy. I just want y'all to know. When I take my hand off, they're like, we back up, sir. Took my hand off and started going crazy. And they strapped him down. They strapped him down and I just backed up. And I just kind of prayed from a distance. And I went up. My wife's by the truck like, what is going on? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. And I told her this story, and she just staring at me.
That's healing power.
She just staring at me like, start crying. And it happened to me a couple of times. At the grocery store, same thing. A man just fell over, had a heart attack, and I was about to pull off. He in the parking lot. I was like, I'll call the police. And now
that's God speaking to
I got out, hand on him, and he turned over.
You know how many people wish they had that gift?
That's scary to me, though.
You know how many people wish they had that gift?
And he turned over.
I don't know what happened to him. He did turn over and he regained consciousness. And again, somebody is like around at some type of paramedic or something. And they came over and started talking to him. They called the police. I waited till the paramedics got there and then I left. But I just put my hands on him and I just started praying. I didn't even want to do it. I've been running.
I thank God for you, brother.
You feel me? So it's weird because at the same time, I felt my whole life I've been a bit tortured mentally too.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Because of that?
Just not because of that. Just
Why?
In addition to that, I've had a lot of bouts with mental health issues, just being anxiety, depression. It's so weird.
Where did it stem from, though? If you're looking back, as you're older
trauma.
now, you can look. What trauma was it?
I was molested as a kid.
How old?
Probably like 9, 10 to like 12.
So that was after your dad left the house.
So we didn't live with him.
Yeah, right. Your dad had left.
Yeah.
You was living with your mom.
My mom and her husband.
Did you tell anybody?
Nah.
Never.
Nah, not till probably like 10 years ago.
Really?
I never talked about it.
Was it a family member or someone that?
Yeah, family member lived in my home. You know what I'm saying?
So what was their response when you told them 10 years ago?
I just told my wife, and then I've been putting it in my music, like sneaking it in my music and talking about mental health issues and stuff.
Is your mom still here?
Yeah, her birthday was just last week. She just turned 80.
Hey,
so did you tell her?
Birthday,
so you
mama.
have not told her?
Nah. She kind of knew. I don't want to put her out there, but she kind of knew. But she was powerless against this fool of a person who, for years I said when I grow up, I'm gonna find him. I got homies that said, we can, but I didn't, and I have to work on forgiveness. Yeah,
because that's the only way you can get over it.
It's tough. Forgiveness is tough for me.
Forgiveness is tough, but it's something that you have to. It's spiritual.
Well, I figured it out. So I figured out how to do it.
How?
Because if we go back to the Bible for a second, the Bible talks about forgiveness a lot. I'm going to ask you: does it tell you? Does it tell you how to forgive though? Tell me how to forgive.
It gives codes.
Huh?
It gives codes.
Codes. It's
a way that it says it that you have to have a spiritual ear to hear it.
Okay.
And when I say it,
everybody got the spiritual ear, so how we gonna know?
Whatsoever is bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatsoever is loose on earth shall be loose in heaven. It also talks about in the book of John about whatever you retain on earth shall be retained in heaven. Or it talks about it in the book of John, and it talks about it in the book of Matthew chapter 16. So there's
heard
2
you
chapters.
Say it yet. How do you forgive?
Everybody is different. Everybody's way of forgiveness is different. But like for me,
what's step 1?
This is what
you gotta let go.
You gotta you.
How? Tell me step 1 of letting go. Step 1.
Let me tell you what I did.
You want to process?
Hold on. Let me tell you what I did.
Let me see. That's crazy. How do you process it?
No, let me tell you what I did. Because I went through that where I had to forgive, right? And I was reading the Bible, and what stood out to me was I want to go to heaven, right?
Okay.
Point blank, period. And it talked about when you go into heaven, if you have something against anybody or somebody has something against you, leave your gift right here at the gates and go and reconcile.
Okay.
There's different parts of the Bible, but I just went and, talked to them and dealt with that. But then it also talked about if you go and talk to the person and the person don't, you don't get a resolution or anything like that, then you go and you find a friend, somebody who is in Christ or is in like-minded, bring them to even that person, or even a therapist, bring that person to that person and be like, and try to have that. And if not, then you bring them to the body or the church or the whoever.
So what I'll tell you, what I found is you hit on it. You have to go to step 1 is, I was asking you a rhetorical question because I know the answer for me, and I think that it would work for other people.
Let me see what you're going to say.
Step 1 is you have to address it.
But the word tell you that.
What happened? Well, I'm talking about with the person that you have a issue with.
You
go. I will say this, man. One of the things that I respect about Islam is that Islam will tell you to take it up with that man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Okay.
Mark chapter 11, verse 23, where it says, it talks about, and I ain't never read on this, I've never read on the show.
On the show.
I've never
quotes
done
certain
that.
things, but just to look
I've
it up.
never read, but just to look at
This
it.
what
So
happens.
I want to.
This is what happens with me.
Yeah, no, it's all love.
No matter where I go, no matter how I try to hide it or whatever hardcore, guys like,
No.
Yeah, we do that. If you
folks.
watch our show, we always talk about God on our show.
Sure do.
A lot of people.
That's all we do.
My guy be like, let me put you with my folks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
But
man.
let me tell you something. I always urge everybody, because as I said, we talk about this all the time. I said, let me tell you, stop putting off what your business of what you have to do for later because you don't want to address it. Do it now for the main reason that later on when you're trying to do it, that person could already be dead and gone, and you can't. They're not around to address it. Then what do? You're gonna have to figure out how to let it go, because for the main fact that certain traumas do carry on, although your kids have never been through it. That trauma can pass down to your kids.
I really tried to make sure that it didn't. I went out of my way to make sure my kids were never traumatized by nothing else except for in case of my passing, but that they were never traumatized by just regular life, especially by me and their mom. They don't even see us argue like that. They see us have little bicker sessions. Go ahead.
It says, and Jesus answered, this is in 11 and 22, 21, 22. Peter had said something, he said, and Peter called him to remember, said unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which you cursed is withered away. He said, and Jesus answered and said unto him, have faith in God. For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. Wait a minute. And then he says, and when you stand praying, forgive. He say, if you have aught against any.
Okay, come on.
That your Father also which in heaven forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your faith which is in heaven be forgiven, or your trespasses.
Okay, so can we pause right there?
But he didn't say go to him.
He didn't.
You're
say
exactly
how.
right.
Not
he
in
didn't
that
say
part.
in
Not
that
in
part.
that
No,
part.
he didn't say go.
About
but
the Bible is that it tells you to forgive, but doesn't necessarily
say how.
How?
Yeah.
I say this to my wife all the time. She's like, you need to do this. Okay, step one, go.
That's the step one. Huh?
And nobody ever got step one.
You tough. I like that.
So step one is what I found out. I was watching this woman. I was looking at this post on YouTube. And this woman said that when she was a young girl, her brother had a best friend. The best friend spent the night over to the house, and her brother and the brother's best friend got high. The best friend got so high that he pulled a gun out, they was playing with it, shot and killed her brother.
Wow.
When the mama heard the shot, got up, she said, look what you did to my son. The kid was so high that he killed the mama too. So now he went to jail forever. And this girl says she struggled forever with relationships. She's now in her 30s. She's been going to church. She's been reading the Bible. And she said the Bible mentions forgiveness 160 some odd times, but it never told me how. It told me that I needed to do this and that I'll receive this if I do this, but it never said how. I realized that I needed to go to that prison and address that boy, or that man now. She said, I went and I addressed him and I said, you ruined my life. I went and visited him and I said, you ruined my life. And I imagine that your life is ruined too.
Wow.
So what I want to tell you is I wanted to tell you that basically F you for ruining my life. And now I'm going to tell you that I'm going to forgive you, and I want you to make sure you write to me, and I'm going to start coming to visit you because I know you've been struggling with that too. So I learned from that story, like, addressing it. Address the person if they're still alive. Address the person. And the forgiveness is like, there's that quote that says, not forgiving a person is like, how's it go? You trying to kill them with poison, but you swallow it.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's not for them, it's for you.
It's not for them, it's for you, right?
Right.
But I hear all of these things, but I never heard how.
Yeah.
So I do motivational speaking too.
Oh, yeah?
But what I do when I speak, I'm like, man, I need it to be clear to people. I can't speak in parables. I can't speak in these The Bible a lot of times speaks in the way that they talked back then. I need to, you grew up in church, you hear them say, make it plain.
Yeah.
I got to make it plain.
And
I got to make it plain so people can learn from it and heal, because I have been a person that is afflicted with mental health issues still to this day, but now I have coping mechanism. Now I know how to get out of it. This is the blessing that has happened to me. Is becoming aware of what step 1 is, what step 2 is, what step so I can really provide real healing for folks.
I like
couple questions. First, one thing I wanted to disagree with that you mentioned in everything you were saying. When you said you wanted to make sure that your sons didn't see certain things, that's why you don't even argue in front of them and so forth. I was raised in a household where I never saw my parents argue. I never saw any of that. So when I grew up, and I'm a girl, you have boys, so boys and females think totally different, okay? But I grew up feeling like, okay, in relationships, all that matters is I love you, you love me, we can make the world happen. Everything is great, because that's what I saw with my parents. And I lived a middle class life, everything was great. I just didn't realize that there's so many temptations, there's so many everything else in the world that you have as a woman, you have to, work towards in your relationship to make sure that we both stay focused on us. And, it's not as easy as how some of these people make it seem. You know what I mean? So for me, like we'll argue in front of our kids, not terrible argument, but disagreements or certain type of arguments, but we do that, or I learned that, that is healthy for the main fact that I don't want my kids to feel like how I felt, where life is perfect. We shouldn't be arguing. So for me, I never understood how to argue. Like if you try to argue me, I hate arguing. I shut down. I don't know how to argue because I never experienced or saw any of that.
I never thought about you got me thinking about that forgiveness thing now. I gotta, because there's things in there, stories in there that lead you to see how one would deal with forgiveness, I guess, because, and I go back to that because of the conversations that, say, maybe a prophet had with David back in the days. You know what I mean? The prophet, when he had took Bathsheba's wife or whatever, Uriah the Hittite's wife, Bathsheba, and then he processes the fact of how he's going through it because the child gets sick, and then he tells him what he needs to do in order to make it through. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so there's conversations and stories in there. You just got me thinking about that when you said that. So thank you. You know what I'm saying? So thank you.
So what I
No. I don't think you are either, but I think that makes me think about it more and come up. I never thought of it from that perspective.
I'm not contradicting the Bible. I'm not here to do that. What I'm here is to add to.
No, I think it's
because
dope.
It's my own journey.
No, it is your journey.
And so when I say, okay, so I got this, but I believe I was blessed with it more that wasn't necessary, that I didn't necessarily read in the Bible, because I don't read the Bible. I've read it, here and there. I grew up in church, but I'm not a scholar.
Yeah, I never grew up in church. I've never been a member of any church. I've never done none of that.
He believed that we're in church.
I read it myself and just, and I read it to my kids their whole life. Myself, and they never been a member, because it never tells you in there to be a member.
That's the church.
Right.
I know
You're
that.
a member of church.
I do know that.
Yours.
I know that.
It was your church. It was yours. You feel me?
So you got to be able to be strong to do it, because a lot of people gonna criticize you.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Stronger.
Yeah,
that's
I could tell you so many stories how people came at me about that.
Yeah.
But I just kept believing and I kept going, man.
And I was raised in the church.
Yeah. So when she married me,
totally different. Yeah. But what I loved about it is the fact that my experience is, once I went to college, I went to a Christian college. So they taught me how to dive into the Bible, where the history of everything came from. So I learned a lot more. And I'm like, why don't churches teach this stuff? Because, you go to church and they just preach and that's it. And you go home and you feel good for that day, but everybody go back to their regular, whatever they want to do, stuff like that. But if you treated church more like a school where you're actually teaching the word.
Okay.
I feel like, Bible studies on Wednesdays, most churches let's have Bible study every day.
Okay.
Instead of you preaching. Because then when COVID happened, people couldn't go to church. They didn't know how to act.
A lot of them.
They didn't know how to function. They were I don't
You
like.
have an enlightening.
Because they're waiting on this man.
They're waiting on a person.
Exactly. Instead of learning
we
it for
never
themselves.
did that, because God didn't show it to me that way.
Come on.
So I taught people to worship God where you stand. Period.
That's real.
And I just took all the barriers away, and I tell people, like I said this morning to Big Court and them, I tell people, if you have not walked on a hot desert sand and tied your camel to a date tree, you know, this is what I do. Meaning I get myself out of the thinking of America and I think from the East, and I just study like that.
Have you traveled?
Never been there, and it's so far, man. God,
well, you just travel. Period.
I travel a lot, but not like
around the world, man. Gives you a different perspective
because you see other people's beliefs too.
I saw other people's beliefs. I saw other people's customs. I saw, you know, all kinds of stuff, and it really made me. The world looks so much bigger than Kansas City once I started traveling to other countries and everything.
I think it's because I studied more spirituality. Like I read the Quran a lot, and I read different books, and I read all N9ne Buddhism, Hinduism. I studied
what's it called?
Hinduism and N9ne Buddhism.
I never heard of that.
That was something that they was talking about the hair, the 9-etheric like gas in your hair was where mankind started from. And they started talking like.
You go deep.
But this was this 20 years in the game. So
he was trying to figure out.
I was trying to figure out if God was real.
Yeah, that's what he went on.
That, bro.
Me too, man.
I was really fighting that.
I go back and forth, but I feel it.
No. I believe now, but I was
go back and forth. I'll be like, blue. Let me show you. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
God shows you. And
like
you got a gift. Like how?
In a way that's like, but even after those instances, I still was like, I don't know, maybe. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, let me show you.
He keep reassuring him. I love it. And it made me love God more. That's what it done.
Even men over COVID, like I had COVID 5 times. And because I have vitiligo, it's an autoimmune disease. And so it made it to where I could only eat 5 things and I still wasn't losing weight.
Wow.
I could only eat a couple of things. I would eat stuff and my heart rate would go up to 200.
Woo!
And I would be like terrified.
What do you mean by you can only eat 5 things?
I could before I only eat like 5.
Like what 5
items.
Things?
I could eat these organic potato chips that I would eat, and I would just eat those, and of course them keep weight on me. What else was I doing? I could eat like hamburger meat. Fruit and vegetables was giving me like allergic reactions.
Wow.
Anything.
And this was during COVID.
This has been for the last since COVID. Actually is still happening, but I can eat a lot more things now. But it was like, even at that time, I told my wife in 2023, I pulled her to the side and I said, was this 24? 23, end of 23, almost 24. I said, I want us to get all of our things together and our affairs together because I got to leave. And she was like, what do you mean?
Like, where are you going?
I said, I have to end my earthly journey. I cannot be here anymore.
You can't tell your wife that.
I told her. And she was like, what are you saying? She started screaming and being hysterical. I said, I'm not looking for, I was really calm too. I was like, I'm not looking for help. I'm not looking for, I was tortured every day by this that was happening to me. And I said, I'm going to kill myself. And I don't want you, I know that sounds crazy and it sounds like I might need help, but I can't be here and be tortured every day. I don't have any good days because of how this was making me feel and how it was attacking me. Certain water, I mean, everything was torturing me every day. No, it was just, it's an indescribable feeling, but it was, what I found out is that I have what's called mast cell activation.
What is that?
It's an autoimmune disease, and so what's happening is almost everything, almost every smell, anything, any perfume, any lotion, was giving me an allergic reaction. Once I got cold, I probably shouldn't even say that on you. I don't know what the powers that be. Once I got the beer virus, let's call it that. Once I got the beer virus, I don't know. Once I got the medicine as well. Mm-hmm. I feel like my DNA changed.
Wow.
And it was I already had sensitivities because of my vitiligo. It was just ramped up to 1 million. And like all kinds of stuff was giving me reactions and I was just tortured every day. And it was bothering my brain. And so I went and got checked out and I had swelling in my heart, swelling in my brain. Like I had all of these things. And I gave up hope then too.
Wow.
Like how can I always proclaim myself to be God's child, but now this all happens. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Job. Well,
my pastor said that.
No, but metanoia, all the battles start in the mind.
That's what it was. I know. This is why I speak about it, man. And it helped me to help other people, man. Another thing that happened to me during that time was Tech and I separated. I left Strange Music. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I left Strange Music, and Tech kept telling me about this dude. I had met him a couple of times named Sully 4Q. And every time I seen Sully, he would be like, hey, man, I'm Sully 4Q. I'll meet him 2 months later. Hey, I was Sully 4Q. Eventually, I was like, hey, man, stop introducing yourself to me, dude. And it worked. I remembered him because he always introduced himself to me. Well, when Tech and I had separated, I totally separated from that label and from everybody there. And Tech called me one time. He said, hey, man, Sully's in the hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really know him. He was like, yeah, man, I think you should call and check on him. And, you know, my heart goes out to him, but I don't know him. So I was like, okay. He's like, I think y'all would be really good friends. And I was like, why you setting me up for a romance right now, dude? What are you doing? I was like, I mean, I'll check on him. And I just felt compelled to do it because he said this guy is not, you know, doing too well at the moment. And he was like, yeah, man, you should check on him. I got his number. I called him, and he was going through, I'll let him tell you his story, but he was going through some serious health issues. And at the time, one of my background singers was she had gone through the same health issue as him, and she made it through it. And Sully's like a super positive person. I didn't know this at that time. And I told him, I said, oh, man, no. Oh, you're not going to die. No, you're not. I'm not trying to give you hope. I just know it. I knew it. You're not. You're going to be cool. My girl Delania went through this. She had 150 blood clots and all of this other stuff. And she went through all kind of stuff. And she is totally fine. And you're going to be totally fine. And I just, you know, so I told him that. And then I think a month or so went by. And I just felt compelled to keep checking on this brother. And I did. And since then, we have become like, that's my brother. That's like one of my best friends.
That's dope,
in the world.
man. I love it.
And we have actually started a business together. Tech was right.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
He was right.
He was right putting y'all together.
Right. He knew something I didn't know, that we would become like, me and Sully would become like brothers. And even started, I mean, he didn't know we were going to start a business together. Yeah. But my point in even telling you that about Sully is that it helped me to try to tell somebody else. Too. Huh?
To want to still stay here and not go.
But it helped me to help him.
Right.
And, you know, one of the things that people need that may be teetering on the edge of ending their earthly journey is they need some hope. They need purpose.
Right.
A lot of people don't. If I just say, hey, man, what's your purpose? You probably know yours now, but a lot of people don't know their purpose. I know I'm a musician. I'm a speaker. My purpose is a servant. That's what I've been sent here to do.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew it. Once I knew it, I was a lot better. So when trials come now, I can knock them out because I'm like, oh, well, I know this sucks today, but I know what I'm here to do. I did want to answer one of the things you said.
I want to thank God for you, brother. I want to say that. Keep your thought, but I thank God for you. I really do.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. You said something about arguing. Now, I haven't put up a facade with my children. I just only ever show utmost respect to their mother. Mm-hmm. Without them being there, but especially when they're there. And even if we bicker, I go to them because I see them kind of looking like, oh, what they talk, and I go explain to them, here's why I feel like this, here's what mom thinks, this is why we're saying this to you. So I've done a lot of explaining to my boys too.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So I wasn't necessarily hiding arguments. I just did it a certain way, and I'd be pissed at her too. Mm-hmm. And I just made sure that I minded my mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to say I never cussed at her. I had never cussed at her until COVID. We were trapped in the house, one cuss word came out. That's because she tried to put her hands on me.
Oh, wow.
But COVID did crazy things to everybody. Yeah. But
at least you still survived it.
Oh, yeah.
Marriages ended
We've
during
been together
COVID.
for 30 years altogether. We've been married 20 years this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, marriages ended. A lot of them ended. We got closer.
Wow.
We did too.
We got closer. It was like, we got closer. So I just wanted to respond to what you said.
Okay, your vitiligo. I see you only have a little bit. It hasn't. I don't see it everywhere. Cause you have on, but
I have it on my hands.
Oh, it hardly shows on your hands. The only place it really notices it. Mm-hmm. So how long have you been having it though?
Since I was 2.
Really?
Since I was 2
it hasn't so it doesn't always over time to spread everywhere.
It can, and most people get it in their 20s. I got it at 2. It is an autoimmune disease where your pigmentation cells are attacked by your immune system and they break down. My eyelashes are white, so it affects your hair. It's the reason why I'm Kriss Kalico is my name. My name is Watson. My last name is Watson. Calico, like the cat, is multicolored. That's why I named myself that. And just because my talents are multifaceted with everything that I do. You know, I've always been kind of all over the place, and so it was a fitting name. Kalico was, but yeah, it's the medical term is they say vitiligo, but the medical term is leukoderma, which means leuka means white, derma means skin. So it's just white skin. And it plagued me as a kid. That's another thing that gave me a lot of. I
was wondering because a lot of kids would want to, you know, tease you over it because they didn't understand it.
I had a lot more. It was spread way out here.
Oh, really?
On my nose. It was a lot bigger, and the doctor said pigmentation cells don't regenerate, but mine started regenerating.
Yeah, I never heard that. Really?
Yeah, it started closing in. Most people that get it spreads and they get more
exactly. That's why I was wondering.
Mine did that, and then all of a sudden started going the other way and started shrinking.
And they don't know why.
No, my lips were completely pink. I dyed my mustache. My mustache been white since I started growing one, and my beard down here has been white since I first started growing hair. Wow. And then I had a couple of white hairs like in my hair too, and in my eyelashes too. But kids did tease me. Kids bullied me, jumped on me a lot. Like they would jump on me like 3 to 5 kids at a time. And my father had us in an all-white neighborhood, so these were Caucasian kids.
Who was doing this to you?
So I already felt like a fish out of water, and I looked different. So I used to feel like, dang, why me?
I see why all that mental problems.
Well, that's where it started. It started with the vitiligo, which if you read stuff about vitiligo, now it's cooler. There's models with it and stuff.
I was about to say, Winnie Harlow, when she popped out, I'm sure she had some discrimination, some things, you know, she went through, but hers is everywhere, and she's not ashamed of it. She will wear and show, and
there's a lot of models with it now.
Really?
There's a lot of models with it now. Now it's like a mark of distinction and more. It looks like kind of like artwork, I guess.
Right.
I've always been different. You know, I don't know if people know how it feels to walk into a room and everybody stare at you. Kids were scared of me. Kids would be, mommy is a monster. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, this give you a complex as a little kid. I feel like I would never have a woman. I feel like I would never, let alone be an entertainer. And I've been an entertainer for 25 years. I felt like I felt like a victim. Wow. And this ended up being actually my greatest strength.
Yeah, did you reach out to
Winnie Harlow?
I did reach out to Winnie Harlow. I was like, hey, I got vitiligo, I'm an artist. I was trying to figure out how to collab. She like, who are you? Like, what are you? I told her I've written for Snoop and da-da-da. I'm name dropping just to, you know, validate myself. And she was like, who? Like, please do not message me.
No, she did not say that.
She did.
Wow.
She don't want me from a campaign. I don't want to get on here and drag her. She's beautiful.
Not trying to drag her, but just trying to understand. Like, I guess maybe she don't want to share the experience.
Well, I saw that she dated Kanye. She dated somebody else famous. After that, maybe I wasn't famous enough. She's trying to get her thing on. I don't know.
Maybe,
well, you might be right because
maybe when I get more famous, I'll try again.
That'd be dope. And then she hit me up. I need to hear the story.
But I'm always thinking on the other end too. I'm like, maybe she just have a whole bunch of people in her DM saying all sorts of stuff that she's not sure exactly.
But why would she answer if she didn't really want to deal with it?
Here's what I would say. She's guarding herself.
Right.
At the time, she was probably guarding herself by herself. Now she probably got people. Now that she's more famous, but I think she was just being guarded.
Right.
I don't think she's probably a bad person or whatever. You know what I mean?
I doubt it as well.
I got popular because of my talent, but also because of my vitiligo. Tech wanted me with him because he was like, man, you perfect. I'm going to start this label called Strange Music, man. Perfect. And it was a perfect vehicle because it was awkward. He was, at the time, he dyed his hair red. Black dudes wasn't doing that then. He shaved it on the sides. He had this crazy hairdo. He wore a preacher's robe. He had red hair. Everybody thought they used to say he was worshiping the devil. And he's straight from Barker Temple. He's straight out the church too as well. Tech is just a very provocative.
Yeah.
He knows how to use symbolism to get people's attention. He knew to put that preacher's robe on before social media. You know how they call it trolling? He was trolling people back then. I'm going to put a preacher's robe on and I'm going to rap like, and people would be like, it used to be people outside, Christian protesters outside of our shows. You're going to hell to our concert going. I went outside and talked to him. I'm like, man, what you doing, man?
You didn't.
Let me explain to you what I am and how I know I'm God's child. What you're doing is looking at imagery. The reason why Tech's imagery looks scary because he likes scary movies. That's it. And he's antagonistic. He don't seem like it, but Tech is very antagonistic. He know how to bait you in and make you go, oh my gosh, this dude's crazy. And he's not. He's literally
very calculated.
He's calculated. He's literally doing it. He knew he could make a logo and it has a snake and a bat and make the snake is the S, the bat is the M, and people will be like, ah. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah. He knew how to provoke people, and he did it, and it worked amazingly.
Hold on. You got to do this. I did this to him. I got to do it to you. Give me that verse in Speed 'em.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
He gave it.
He did his.
Yes.
He's performing it every night.
No.
I'm not gonna give no excuses. I might mess it up, and it is what it is. So I'm trying to think of how it starts. He says, you're gone. Nobody can catch him. I'm going to rap it slower so you can understand. Nobody can catch him. He's a Speedy Gonzalez. To beat him's a problem. And if you got the feet in your mouth, you're going to have to beat it up out of him. It's a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them. And me and N9ne used to follow him. I got to audibly body him. This is it man, the hit man, karate him. If hands will lift hands, will get dancing out of him. And if hands is if hands, we'll stand proud of him. Who stands with two hands and move in the crowd of him? If I ain't making sense to you, then the sample, the M theater like a bass. It'll never been a gift for me to heat him or beat him or burn him. Then I let him out. They never heard of us and look at them turning up. I stop the short off for super simple to make them an impotent. When I be flipping, niggas be feminine. And so the purpose to pin the pin and reversing condition of living in to do bigger numbers than Eminem. Dang, I can't remember.
But he did
gotta be faster and smash on a nigga with half the cash. I'm a little sicker, quicker than you figure. Ice cold, I make a shiver bigger than the winner. If you half-ass deliver, but I'm gonna eat your dinner. Better than mine, I mean other guys. I jump around to the meet and I'm rubberized. Me and N9ne massacre, meet them, remurderized. Beat them till they beat them, feed them, speed on.
Hey,
you know
man.
And he said, hold on. Did he say he gonna slow it down so we can get it? That's not slowing it down.
No, I loved it, bro. That was hard, man.
But I was gonna, if I rap it slower, I'm like, I'm gonna mess it up because that ain't how I rap.
Right.
Yeah. So what did, for that video shoot, what did how was that for
you? No video.
I seen something. No, the people put that together.
People made it.
They do that on all that stuff
we
now.
Should have been and did a video for that.
People put it together because they wanted it, didn't they? And they got a lot of views, you know.
That song is platinum. That song is platinum, and we never marketed it.
Did you realize how many views the fake video got? That's why I thought they put you up in there. You rapping about something totally different. But I'm like, what is this dope? You're
and people would say I'm saying certain things that I ain't saying. They didn't say it.
What did you say about Eminem in that verse?
I said, and so the purpose to pimp the pen and reversing conditions I'm living in and do bigger numbers than Eminem.
He heard that.
He's trying to rap it. If you ever watch, there's an interview with him on Sway in the Morning, and he said, what did he say? And he started trying to rap my verse. And I'm like, this is Eminem. I'm like,
Eminem dope, man.
Eminem's trying to rap my verse. You
That's
know what I'm
hard.
saying? That was an honor, man. You know what I mean?
Man,
he liked that part because I did that. Listen, I did that verse. And he wasn't even, we hadn't even talked about him being on the song. He wasn't slated for the song.
Oh, really?
That was just in my rhyme. And then he was all of a sudden on the song. So I always thought,
you like, damn, what did I do? What did I do?
I just said, so the purpose of me doing music, so the purpose is to pimp the pen and reverse the conditions I'm living in and do bigger numbers than Eminem. That ain't no diss.
No, you wanted to do better. You want to do good.
As big as Eminem. Or
That's hard. That's hard.
He heard it and he loved that part.
He loved that
was
part.
His favorite part of the verse.
But the thing is, like, him, man, I ain't gonna lie, I be hard on Eminem. Cause I'm in the boom, boom, I'm in that car riding to that UGK, and I'm like, it's not, it's the same. It's like, it's not the same.
It's for lyric lovers.
That's what it is.
If you looking for the slap.
I jam that little Kiki. I would jam that LD300. I'm gonna jam that little Kiki. I'm gonna jam that UGK. Me and Bun. I'm rocking like that. But when I start researching or if I'm interviewing different people, I go in that mode. I love music. So when I heard, just like your Tiny Desk,
the most technical rapper I've ever heard in my life,
bro.
You gotta love. You gotta be a lyric lover. You don't actually have to be any of this to appreciate his artistry, but it's for lyric lovers. I review, I react. I got a reaction channel on YouTube as well, and I react to his stuff, and they're like, break down every bar, because his fans want to hear them bars broke down, and how me as a rapper and as a technical rapper, they want to know how do you interpret what he says. I would have to rewind and rewind. I would never get my.
I like Stan.
I like everything he does.
I'm a big Stan. I'm a big that Stan. Yeah. Like it's a little bit more laid back, chill verse, but he talking from a 2-part perspective. That's why Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. I like. I'm a hook dude too, because I love the way y'all do the hooks.
That's
the way
how
y'all
I got in. Really? That's how I got that's how I got in with tech. So I rap, right? I've rapped with the best of them, but I'm a singer.
Oh, I heard
raps.
you.
Well, I'm a singer that raps, not a rapper that sings.
Mm-hmm.
I just rap because I can. What I really did, how I really got in was singing, and I had hooks. Tech would play beats, and I would be right there, like listening, and I was like, come up with a hook right then. That's how I got on, because I was like, ooh, how about this?
That Tiny that shows your skill.
Yeah.
You went to singing on there. I said, look at him, boy. He getting to it.
Yeah.
That showed them skills.
There's no production on Tiny Desk.
That's right.
There's a mic. There's a little boom mic, and you got to go for it. So I'm gonna be honest, if you're not a real artist, don't go on Tiny Desk.
Mm-hmm. Don't go on there.
Don't go on there. You're gonna get exposed.
What you think about the Scarface is when he went on there?
Killed it.
Who's your favorite Tiny Desk that you've seen?
I haven't seen a ton of them. Scarface.
That's the one there.
Right now, but my boy Marvin Sapp just did.
Marvin, I gotta watch his. I seen it. I started watching it,
and I was trying to watch it at 2 in the morning.
Maxwell did one too.
Yeah, but
Maxwell did.
Yeah, he did. Usher did a good job.
Usher did good. Oh, Usher's went probably the most viral.
Usher did a good job.
He had some
Sean Paul did it.
I knew that though.
On there.
Sean Paul
did it right after he left our show. That's why I'm talking about.
No, he actually filmed it before.
Jamaican Sean Paul?
Yes.
Youngblood Sean Paul.
No,
okay.
Jamaican.
Yeah.
That's
my boy there, man.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen a ton of them. But I would have to say at this moment, it's going to be
Usher.
Scarface.
3-way tie. Usher, Scarface, and there's a group called Tank and the Bangers.
Okay.
Tank and the Bangers. Tank is a female.
Yeah.
And the Bangers, and it was really, y'all got to check that out.
I got to see
It's
it.
almost a new version of like Arrested Development, kind of like.
You know who I like, and Tiny Desk is why I started following her, Doechii.
I just saw a piece of hers.
Yeah, she did it, and she killed it.
I'm just getting on to Doechii. She was already popping. I know she's with TDE, man. That's family too. Top Dog. That's our family too, man. And
I love her style and the way how she's just different, and I love it.
She's a fresh drink of water to
exactly.
music, man. She's a fresh drink of water to music.
You just said something. You and Kendrick, did you do anything with Kendrick?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
So Kendrick, when Kendrick first started as a hype man for a dude named J-Rock.
Yeah, J-Rock.
J-Rock was signed to Strange Music where I was at. So Kendrick's first taste of anything was with us on tour. So Kendrick was on tour. He was J-Rock's hype man, and he studied us every day. Kendrick was like this. When everybody was kicking it and partying, Kendrick was like this, watching me and Tech every day, every show. He never missed our performance. When he came here and became Kendrick Lamar, he performed at the arena, and he said, y'all may not know this, but the reason why I know how to perform up here is because of 2 men from this city, N9ne and Kriss, Mother, Evan, Kalico. He was like, that's why I know how to perform like I do.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I cried.
I was about to say, how big was that, man?
This is Kendrick Lamar. I cried.
And he's steadily going up.
Yeah, we did a song together called I Love Music that I did. It's Tech song.
Okay.
I did the hook.
You did the hook. Mm-hmm. That's hard, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
My wife's on the song too. Me and my wife, Tech's cousin, whose name is Marcus Yates. Marcus is on stage with me. He's my hype man.
That's hard.
And all of us did the song with Kendrick, and then of course he became super huge after that. And then he's Kendrick. He just played the Super Bowl. Boom.
Sully 4Q, get him for me, baby, so we can talk about the technical. I want to talk about this business.
Okay.
Come on, Sully.
Yeah. I want to talk about the business. Yeah, huh?
Yep.
Sully 4Q.
Sully.
I want to. How you doing, Sully 4Q? Welcome to Boss Talk, man. This is what a bosses talk. Okay,
yeah,
so if you ain't a boss, wait a minute. Don't just let him in here. Are you a boss?
He's a boss.
Okay, well then we good. He good. Give him a pass to get the card out. Sully 4Q, thank you for coming on the show, my guy.
Appreciate you having me. Yeah.
What you about to say?
No, I'm saying I try to surround myself with people who are definitely like children of God and definitely bosses.
That's dope.
People that I can gain stuff from and I can bless as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like top of that list.
Wow.
Top of that list.
Man, so we're about to interview you again, so don't even trip. You about to sit in that seat. Yeah. But I wanted to talk about just the technical, the company that you guys started, right? Yeah. Explain it to me, like, and then just explain to me kind of how you guys started it, you know?
Okay. I want to let you talk.
Okay. No, that's perfect. So it's Earhouse Technology. Essentially, it's simplifying the post-audio production process. So imagine, the tedious process that it is now. So you got to spend hours on mixing and mastering your projects. Right now, you see a lot of tools that simplify the mastering aspect, but we actually have simplified the mixing process into one button.
Wow, into one button.
One button.
One button mix, one button master.
So it's going to save a lot of time.
I told him this, dude, before you came. I said, our application is revolutionary. You remember how when Pro Tools came in and revolutionized the whole music industry? That's what our app is.
Wow.
It's going to revolutionize anything audio, podcasting, movies, any music, anything audio. I've been saying it forever. Anything you want to hear comes from this house, Earhouse Technology. Anything you want to hear.
How did you guys even think to do that?
So it was actually during the time period, so he brought it up when I was having my health scare, my battle. They told me that it was the end of the road for me, like get your affairs in order, basically. And he was kind of encouraging me. And when I was able to move around again, we started going to breakfast a lot. And, they were just gearing off into, being independent on their own. And I had been independent for a while on my own, finding my own way. So we started brainstorming different ways that, we can get some business stuff going, you know what I mean? And that came up at the breakfast. So when we first came up with the idea, we had no idea how we would be able to build it or anything of that nature. We just had the idea of simplifying that process and getting into the tech world. And then as time went on, I had a period of time where I couldn't walk or move around at all. And during that time, I really zoned in on development. So I had tinkered with it before I got sick, but once I got down, I couldn't talk. So I lost my voice and I lost my ability to walk. And during that time, I started just being on my computer instead of moping around about what I couldn't do. I started focusing on what I could do. So I ended up getting better with the development process. And so once we, got with that idea, I started messing around, trying to figure out how we can get a version where we can at least start presenting and getting some capital raised so we can get the ball going. And, it just started hitting me how we can, get the process, get it to do exactly what we needed it to do.
Wow, man, I just want to say, man, that's dope. And to be real with you, man, anything that's going to help, our people to do better and do more things, to be more, creative, man, I think that's big, right? For the
independent is the wave, right? Independent is the wave. DIY is the wave. And so, just think about it. It used to be a television studio would have to do any production that's broadcasted. You and your wife have this elaborate setup that you do yourself.
Pretty much.
And DIY is the way. And so you have to solve a problem. You know what I'm saying? We had to solve that problem, and we did.
Man, that's dope, man. So when is the product going? It's going to come out when?
This year.
This year. And I ain't gonna ask you too much about it. I know y'all trying to, y'all gonna launch it, or when y'all launch it, how are you guys gonna do it to pretty much create something that gets the attention of a lot of people? You know what I mean?
It will be no doubt in your mind that this is out.
That's how big it's going to be.
It will be no doubt in your mind. You won't be like, man, I wonder how I'm going to find that out. You're going to see it. There'll be no doubt in your mind that this thing exists and that it's out and it's launched.
Wow.
I'll tell you that. Just all you got to do is just everybody's on social media. So
of course.
If you're looking at social media,
you're going to know.
You're going to see it.
Wow, man. That's dope, man. Like I said, man, I wanted to talk to you guys together about that because I know you guys are working and doing things together and being creative.
Yeah.
And I mean, I gotta ask you this. I mean, will we hear you and Tech come back together at some point?
So weird. It's been going viral lately. There's a I don't know if they're a podcast or a website or something called Underground something hip hop, and they're like, we're protesting, Every day we're putting up a post until Tech and Kriss do music together. What I will say is that that is my brother forever. Who knows? Who knows is the answer I'm giving you.
Wow, man. You gonna just do it with my people like that, bro?
I don't close I don't close the door on anything. For one, I don't burn any bridges. I don't burn any bridges ever. And also, when I have a relationship with somebody, it's for life.
But was there some discomfort in times when you was trying to leave, or was it always just a smooth transition of you leaving?
Of course.
Let's be real.
Of course. Of course. You don't leave a situation because everything is perfect. But what I will say about it is, what I will disclose is that the biggest reason that I departed is because I have an entrepreneur spirit.
Okay.
And I am somebody that is very resourceful. And I want to, let me say it like this. Strange music, I didn't own Strange Music. I want to be very wealthy. And a lot of artists will not become wealthy when they're signed to a label. Because that label's job is for them to become wealthy. This is no slight to them.
That's right.
Or nothing, but this is every label in the world is for them to become wealthy. And so I picked up a lot of, I cut my teeth there. I got all of my business acumen through my experience with Strange Music. And so I knew I was strong enough to be able to create something of my own to pass down to my children. Earhouse technology is now everybody, it's a buzzword to say generational wealth. I have to create generational wealth, and I would not be able to do that as a signed artist at any label.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
That's the reason for me.
How was it with Travis when you were leaving? Because he's part owner as well, right?
Yeah. He's a majority owner. He made it actually easy for me.
Okay.
He did not. I don't know about anybody else, but I know that I have a different relationship and a different respect that comes from Tech and Travis. There's a different respect for me there. There's also a love for me there. You know, a lot of people that are signed to labels, I don't think they have as much of an intimate relationship with the execs. I did, you know, and still do. We don't talk as much, but I will forever have a deep respect and love for both of those guys.
With this being an independent deal, do you still get the rights to your music or any percentage to off the music?
There's a percentage that comes, but you know, when you're signed to a label, they typically own the rights to that music. But I share in, other royalties and stuff.
Okay.
Like that too. So
can you still perform?
Yeah. I get paid off of some of that music. I have a percentage of that, and then I also perform it.
You can perform it, yeah. Because some people, certain deals stop you from being able to perform songs.
They would never do me like that.
I get it, but I'm just telling you how difficult it get out here. It's mental, you know that.
No, it's rough out here.
And it'd be like, okay, they can't do this. If they do that, we're gonna do this. And you saying that they gave you an open door, and y'all still have a relationship.
The reason why I believe that, no matter what the contract said that we were cool is because we can talk like men. Travis and I can still sit down here and have a conversation, and that's how I address. Remember, I told you that step one in everything that I do, how I overcome anything, is to go talk to the individual. So I went and talked to him personally. Like, can go to his house right now, and his whole family will welcome me in there, welcome me into his home with open arms. So being able to go and speak to him and say, "Hey, man, here's what I want to do," and him say, "Okay, you have my blessing in going and doing it," is why that transpired like that.
Wow. And are you with Strange as well?
No, I'm independent.
Have you ever been with Strange?
No, I've been independent the entire time.
You just always went and had a relationship with him. So do you think that was why Tech told you need to get with him? Well, he was sick. Hell, we didn't know what was going to happen with him when they were going down. We didn't know what the hell. He sent him over there because of that healing hand.
That had nothing.
Hell yeah, I know what's going on. I know how to do an interview, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, 2 plus 2 is 4, right?
He don't even really know about
he didn't know.
He just knows what he's observed about me.
Dope.
There's nobody that knows Tech-N9ne better than me.
I know.
And there's nobody that knows me better than him. Not even my wife knows me as well as Tech-N9ne does. We're in a tour bus. We're in a van starting and in a tour bus, and we have been for my whole adult life, all of my 20s. We're from 24 to, 45.
Wow.
I've been in a tube traveling down the highway with this man the majority of my life.
Wow.
So nobody knows me better than him.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying that to say that he knew Sully. I didn't know Sully. And he knew that we had kindred spirits. That's why he did it. He was like, nah, y'all would be friends. And I was actually irritated by him. Saying, I told you that before. I'm like, why are you trying to set me up with a dude? Like, what are you doing? But he knew what he was talking about. I didn't know.
Let me tell you something, man. Anybody that get mad at Tech, from what I seen in this dude when he came over here, he just got this type of vibe where it's not no confrontational vibe.
He's
for me,
the most non-confrontational
I've
person
never seen that. I'm like, I felt him soon. Well, I was talking crazy to him on the phone because that's what I do. If you're gonna talk to me, I'm like, you got to get through the rough part.
Yeah,
I'm on that tripping. I go crazy. I'll be like, what?
I get down like that. He don't typically. That's how I do it.
Yeah,
me and my partners got to be able to talk like that with each other.
And I love it because that's how I know I'm gonna have a good podcast. I'm trying to. I'm testing the water now. Like, you ain't ready, I ain't coming. You got to be ready when I come because I'm coming with me.
You're right though, man. He's the most.
He dope, man.
He's the most genuine person, and he's a very passive person.
Yeah,
we worked really well together. It's funny because he was more the rapper, I'm more the singer, and people thought he's the more aggressive one, and I'm the more passive because I sing, and it was the opposite. I always been a little bit more boisterous and aggressive. He comes off that way in the music, but he's actually a very kind of quiet, spirited person. Even though he talks loud, but he's a he laid back, man. He's very, very laid back. One of the most genuine people you'll ever meet.
So was the time when you was in like, man, that ain't gonna, y'all gotta have them times in the studio, right? That ain't right there, man. I don't know, man. He'd be like, yeah, that is right. You be like, nah, and you think about it a couple days, you come back and be like, yeah. I'm gonna go do it.
Of songs. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you kick me off the song? I used to feel funny about other dudes doing hooks. I was like, that's my job. Sully had a hook. I didn't even know it was him. He had a hook, and I was using. I liked it so much because I respect music that I was using it at on the end of my Instagram Instagram post.
Okay,
is a song that you can't stand it? I'm all over the planet. That was undeniable to me. You know what I'm saying? But inside, I was like, why are you getting these other dudes to do hooks? You selling dope on my corner, man. You know what I'm saying? But I had to respect it. So another thing, I can't control what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted ultimate control of what was happening with me, with my music, with my business, when I toured, when I didn't tour. And the only way to do that is for you to control it. Now, it's way harder. Without strange, way harder.
Yeah, but
without the label.
You heavy, man.
Well, I'm
you good. You good. You ready for it? You built for it.
I'm built for it. You got to be built for it. We toured 200 days a year. You got to be built for it.
Man, I gotta ask you. Top 3 artists of all time. I asked him. He liked to cry in here on me. Top 3 artists of all time, dead or alive, any genre. And he did this.
I can't do it.
But he did. Yeah, you got to do it. That's a part of the show. If you do, that's very disrespectful. I done did 5,000 podcasts.
Okay, I'm finna give you 3.
This the only one guy that don't want to do it out of 5,000.
So here's what I'll tell you. I can give you 3 of the best. There's not a top 5. You said top
3.
Top 3. There's not.
You hear her in there.
There's not.
She know this is our.
Jamaica, there's not a top 3.
Well, give us your top 3 for now.
Great in their own way.
I get it, but this is. I just want 3 people that you value and you know what I mean.
I got you.
You getting a prelim on it, but I got you.
I got you. Roger Troutman.
I like him.
Notorious Big.
Okay.
It was different.
No. Notorious Big. Yeah, it was
Prince.
Yeah, 27 instruments. That's what he played. He's a bad boy. What do you think, Sonny? What do you think? That was look good or what?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah,
we can
it's
rock
diverse.
with it?
Yeah, I rock with it. Yeah.
Okay.
You just said artist, right? Just
artist. Top artist.
Yeah, artist.
Artist.
Okay.
You can hear all of those people's
that's
influence in my music.
I didn't heard those.
You hear their influence.
Mike Jones went hard on me about Biggie. He's a big. That's the way he said Biggie because of who he was and how he looked, and still being able to pull off what he did.
Yep. Because you couldn't be black, heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. However,
I stay
Gucci down to the socks.
I thought,
but
that's what he said.
I stay Gucci down to the socks. He was saying, I made it anyway, because you couldn't be big, black, and ugly in them days. You can be now.
He opened the door for that.
He opened the door. Big, black, ugly dudes. I'm in there. I'm in there. Open the door. I liked all of the fat artists. I was like, Hun.
Well, you got to come on down, man. You got to come down to Big Mo down in Texas. Don't play. We got Big Mo. We got we had some big boys, man. Big Pokey just passed, man. Big Pokey, man.
What's the name of big dude? You're from Rap a Lot.
Who? Big Mike. You don't know
Big Mike. I know about Big Mike.
Man, you don't know about that. New York. Yeah.
I know about Big Mike. I fooled with Rap a Lot back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah,
that's what you did. Devin was on one of them. Killed that. What was that? After party.
I loved. Devin had an album that came out probably 10 years ago, maybe.
Devin
that was amazing.
Cold, man.
With the reverb.
Snoop fell in love. Come on, man.
On there. I love that album. What is dude's name, man? People used to say I reminded him of him. He had a deep voice. He was on Rap a Lot. He sang and rap too.
No, not Charlie Boy.
No, not Charlie Boy.
He wasn't on Rap a Lot.
Not B-Mo. What's this dude's name, man?
He was on Rap a Lot?
He was on Rap a Lot. Not Mo B. It's something that's like this. I can't think.
He did a thing with
He had deep voice.
No, I know who you're talking about. Not Sensei. No.
No. We're gonna
Big Mo?
It ain't Big Mo.
It ain't Big Mo.
But it's a name that's kind of like that.
Boom, boom. I can hear that. But Big Mo, that was different. That's screw music, man. Y'all don't understand.
Chop the Screw.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Chopped Up never slopped up.
You love music.
I love music, dude. I was big on Chopped and Screwed. When who's the dude that was doing all of the chopped up stuff? Chopped Up, never slopped up.
Michael Watts? And DJ Screw?
Michael Watts. Not DJ Screw.
What?
He did his tag was
OG
Chopped Up, never slopped up.
Who was it?
I don't remember. All of this is gonna hit me while we talk about.
Wow, man!
I gotta let it swim in the background.
Man, I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer, man.
I'm enjoying this.
You enjoying it? How long you enjoy yourself? Because it's your birthday, and I know you might want to go eat or something. I don't know.
Nah, this is it. I'm ending it here. I'm going home after this.
You acting like me now, man. You just kind of letting it go, huh?
I gotta ask you a question.
She done bopped back in here.
So, what question? Because since social media and everybody be in the comments saying certain things, what is the one question that podcast has never asked you that a lot of your fans are curious and really eager to know about you?
I don't know. If they never asked it, it ain't came up. I don't know.
No, they might have asked in like the comments or something under there. Seen? Yeah, but you have never spoke about on like a podcast or anything like that.
It's typically the same stuff.
Okay.
The biggest question is, he asked it, will you and Tech9 ever do music again?
Okay.
Who knows what God has? Who knows what the plans are? I go, when I feel compelled, I move that direction.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. And like I said,
I love him. Tech9 and Kriss Kalico are forever, no matter if we're together or not. That is a forever union. Like I told you, anybody that I meet, me and you connected.
For good,
from right now.
I got your number.
Your wife, we're connected.
Unless you change, my number been the same for 28 years. But I'm
on 20.
Boys ain't
20
really
years.
like that, man. I'm a real stomp down, man.
Nah, dog. I don't change my number. My number been the same forever.
That's me.
Forever.
And I'm proud of it.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, man, but we're forever. And that's probably the question, Mr. Jamaica. That's the question that I get asked the most. And I never close the door on anything, man. And I love that guy. So
your style grew with him too, though, right?
It did.
It grew.
It did. That I always felt like I was the heart of the sound of that label.
What was something that he told you that stuck with you that you felt was the most pivotal thing that he could have told you to, push you forward in your artistic wave? Because both of y'all pushed each other. You know what I mean?
We did. We had competition there.
Yeah, I know.
We were competitive against each other there. My wife just said that today because he called me today for my birthday. She said, I wonder who he's in, if there's anybody there that he feels like he's in competition with them. Because we had like friendly competition. He was like, oh, you going to say it? Oh, okay, hold up.
Yeah, that's pushing you.
We pushed each other a lot. On stage, we pushed each other a lot. Most of the stuff from Tech, I just watched him. He wasn't necessarily telling me stuff. I just was watching. He's like a real star. He's like a real rock star. And I was watching how he moved, you know what I'm saying? How he talked to people, how he got on a track and slaughtered it. So if he was on a track with somebody else, he was totally smashing them. So my goal, in which my wife gave me this goal, she said, your job is to get on tracks and smash him. Your job is to outdo him on tracks.
That's hard.
And so that's what I try to do. Anytime I was on a track with him, I try to outdo him.
You coming with it?
Yeah. one of the things we did a song called Midwest Choppers, and he was gassing on there. It's me, him, 2 rappers from here named D-Loc and Dilemma, and I was like, what are they not doing on this track? I mean, everybody's chopping, so I'm gonna just be another chopper, fast rapper on this track. So I decided to sing my whole verse. You know what I'm saying? I decided I was gonna think I forgot even how it goes, but I was like, I'm gonna sing my whole chopper verse, and I knew it would stick out. And if you listen to that song, it sticks out to me the most on that song because I sang.
I gotta ask you a question. Something that 50 Cent said. He was like, he looked down one day and he looked at it was Lloyd Banks and all of them shoes, and they wasn't even wearing the G Unit. You know what I mean?
He told me that.
He told you that. Okay.
He told me he used to be on their head.
Did you wear strange apparel?
Yeah, because a lot of us had Kriss Kalico on it.
So you rocked it.
Yeah. If you notice, even now, so I went a step further. I wore strange music. I wore Kriss Kalico. I wore Tech N9ne. When I got with Sully, one thing I noticed is Sully has a brand called Real.
Okay.
And as you see, he has it on.
Of course.
When I got with Sully, I noticed he never wore anything but his own brand.
That's me.
So I stopped wearing anything. Of course, I don't make shoes, but I stopped wearing. If you look now, I have no brand name on anything I got. So I got that from it. So I took from Tech and Sully like, oh, I'm only gonna wear my stuff.
That's all.
Because I'm a walking billboard.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it right there.
So yeah, so I learned just how to be a star by just being there, and we grew up together in the music industry and learned stuff off of each other though too. You know what I'm saying?
So 50 Cent, how did you and him even build a relationship?
I went to thisis50.com to do an interview, and with Tech back then, and then I've done it since then. And every time I go, me and 50 sit and talk for 2 hours.
Wow.
50 told me something big. He said, man, you're probably one of the most talented people I've ever seen, but you're like a goon. You look like a goon. You're a big fat dude. He said, the girls love me before I even open my mouth when they see me. If you were to look like me with your talent, you'll surpass me.
Wow.
I've been trying to lose weight since.
Shout out to 50 Cent, man.
Shout out 50. 50 is a very eclectic, overwhelmingly intelligent guy.
Yeah, I met him. I ain't got a chance to sit down and talk with him, but me and him met.
If you get a chance to, you're going to love it.
That's all.
I've been able to talk to him, man. Fortunately, in this journey that I've been on, I've been able to talk to a lot of like stars and get to know him. E40 is another guy like that.
Yeah, E40 did that.
E40 is a very, very intelligent guy. You know what I'm saying? He brag on you. You can't. I used to tell 40, I can't have nothing. I have the new shoes on. I remember Creative Rec came out, and I had the Creative Rec shoes on them. And I was at his house, and I said, "Man, check these out, man. You heard of this label, Creative Rec?" Shoot, he said, "Oh man, I've been messing with them for like they sent me 10 pairs."
Like that nigga. This nigga went in the car, man.
He said, man, they sent me like 10 pair like 3 months ago, man. And I'm like, let me have something.
Oh yeah, he's starting it on you.
I said, man, I like them jackets, man. I love whoever your jacket designer is, man. I like wearing jackets too, man. He said, oh man, these cost cost a pretty penny, man. Like, oh, what you trying to say? I love it. What you trying to say? He's like, man, I mean, that was $3,500. I'm like, okay, I got $3,500. Can I get that jacket? 50 is, 40 is done on you, but he's like the most. For real, like this is how he talks, but he's a very, very humble person, man.
Wow.
Invites us into his home, cooks for us, you know what I mean? Before he did Going with the Spoon, he would actually cook for us at his home.
Man, he seems like that type, man. Shout out to you.
You come over to his house, he's gonna cook food for you.
That's hard,
his
man.
His wife cooked better than him, but
he tried to dabble a little bit.
He cooked. I'm gonna be honest. He came up with the Going with the Spoon stuff he got, man. He started really cooking.
He started burning.
Well, I mean, I tasted his food before he started that. He cooked some good fish, and then you got to drink when you come over there because he gonna drink. He gonna have you drinking.
Do you? When you guys, like I spoke before, I don't know if I said it earlier, but the diversity, the way you guys done that, and how did you, it's all type of people that was doing music with strange music, right? Like all different colors, and I'm like, and then you didn't hear about it. It seemed like its own island. You know what I mean? Far as the way the people seen y'all, like when I'm looking it up, I'm like, I don't know this song. I don't even remember that album.
And if you come to the concert, the whole crowd singing it.
That's crazy.
The way we came up with that, and the way that because we grew up listening to different music. I was telling you and your wife that I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. I was listening to pop and country and all of this stuff, so I added all of that to my hip hop. So we were fans of all different styles of music, and so and we put all of that into our rap music, and we were different, and we just had our own cult following. Still, even separately, we have our own cult following.
You ever do any country?
Funny you say that. That's what I do now. Since 2022, I've been doing country music.
Really?
So I haven't released a ton of it, although I did an album with a country artist named Colt Ford.
Okay.
Colt Ford is like the godfather of country rap. And he and I did an entire album together we put out in 2023 called The Hood Billies.
Wow.
And Colt had a massive heart attack.
Wow.
He's recovering now. He's actually about to get back out on the road. He actually had to get revived 3 times.
Wow.
And now he's going to go back and tour.
Wow.
But we did an album. That happened like right as we released that album, or right after, not too long after. But I've continued to put out little bits of, little sprinkles of it and doing appearances on other country music artists. I did a couple of them. I did something with a guy named Demon Jones, Adam Calhoun, Dusty Lee, like a bunch of country artists. And they were like, dude, you should do this. You should do country music. They all, inspired me to do it. So I've been doing it, and now I'm going to drop a ton of country music this year. Wow. So I was doing it, and now with Beyonce and Shabuzi's success,
I was about to ask you about Beyonce.
I was already doing it, but it opened the gate up. It opened the gate up now for me.
Did you like her album?
I loved it. I love country music. It makes me feel the best. That music makes me feel the best doing it, so that's where I'll be from now.
Jason Aldean and Chad Page, Lynn.
Yep.
Darius Rucker. You got to say Darius.
Darius Rucker, the big boy.
You got to say him.
So, he's
one of the only brothers,
I pick people's brain. I picked Darius Rucker's brain.
Oh, yeah, y'all chopped it up?
I don't know him. I just went to a concert at the House of Blues in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And, we were playing there the next night, so they let us in, got us backstage, and I talked to him, picked his brain. So any of the country music artists, I was able to pick their brain and see just how they do this. And so now all of my social media and my music will reflect what I learned doing country music.
This is off.
Okay, I'll fix it. I have a question. So,
he ain't been talking no way.
I have a question. So you've been married 20 years.
Yeah.
But, y'all been together for, 30. I don't see a lot of industry entertainment marriages working. Mm-hmm. If you had to advise people who are in the entertainment business, whether married now or intending to get married, how can they have the longevity in their relationships? Because there's a lot of temptation and everything. Mm-hmm. And everything that comes with,
that's good stuff.
Being in the business with, you be gone on the road all the time, person getting lonely, or just all the different stresses that comes with the business. How can you advise anybody who's watching how to stay in that relationship and be successful at it?
The only way to do that is the woman. It's not the man at all. You have to have the right woman.
I agree.
I have a 1 in a million woman. I don't know. This was just ordained by God, bro, that I would find her when she was 16. I've been with her since she was 16. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to ask you how old you was when it happened. I don't want to be.
I was too old for her.
I don't want to be because I don't want to be. I don't want to.
I was too old.
I really don't want to see you through that on this show. R. Kelly was on the show.
P. Diddy freak offs and I was just a little too old for her, but I was a little too old for her. I was at high school already, but we've been together since then.
Wow.
Since then. Her mama asked me, because she knew I was older, she's like, what do you want with my daughter? I said, I don't know.
How many people?
All I know is that I can't be without her.
How many people supposed to go to jail because they was people in the 10th grade, but they was out of school for 2 years and they kept coming back picking them girls up? I seen that with my own eyes.
Like that.
No, I seen a bunch of them. No, I seen a bunch of them. Because them girls didn't want to be with me. I didn't have no car.
See, I had a whip.
In the 9th grade?
I was whipping. In the 10th grade, my father died. I told you when I was 15, he had a business.
You had a car in the 10th grade?
No, I didn't.
I did. I was on days in the 10th grade.
So they basically kind of passed you up for them older guys.
I had one of them rare high school experiences. I ain't gonna lie.
Sully, what the hell was you doing?
Girls had my picture in their locker and stuff when I was in high school.
So in the 10th grade?
I was a rapper and stuff in high school too.
Oh, that's what it is.
And I was on a basketball team.
That's what it is.
You
a jock.
He was a star. He was just like a star type of dude.
So basically, they didn't get your 10th graders. You had all the 10th graders on lock. Because I said the 10th grade.
So he was probably taking the girls from the dudes with the car.
Oh, okay. Driving their car, right?
He didn't even have a car. He didn't need it. Me, I had to have other stuff.
Man, I think, one thing I can say, during those days it was different. You know that. It was a little bit different back then, compared to now. You can't do that stuff, huh?
Sully way younger than me.
I know, he way younger.
Yeah.
So he was, how old are you, Sully?
35.
Yeah, see, he's still young. Young boy mentality, man. No grades or nothing. He ain't got
He don't have a young guy mentality, but he is a younger dude. So
he's younger.
He didn't have probably the same
I'm jealous.
we had.
No, I'm not trying to hear it.
All right. Don't let him off the hook.
No, I'm mad. I'm hating.
My daddy died when I was 15, and he had a company. So he left me with a trust fund. And at 16, I had 250 grand in the bank.
That's why you.
And I blew all of it.
You blew it all.
Cars on Dayton's, hydraulics, candy paint.
You came through.
I came down.
It came down. That boy came down, and he came through.
I came down.
I'm going to come down.
I came down.
I'm going to bang screw.
I came down back in the day. I had rings on every finger. I was dripped out like this when I was in high school in the 10th grade.
Damn.
I blew all my father's money. I sold his house, blew all that money. I had a great time, though.
Let me ask you this, and I'm about to close y'all, but did you came to Dallas and performed a lot? Because I'm in Dallas. What was it about Dallas? Because I know my Dallas people, they watch this show.
Yep.
Well, give me some detail on the Dallas show. Did they come out for y'all?
Yeah, our first time we played is down in Deep Ellum.
Oh, yeah, straight up. Yeah, that Deep Ellum, that's hard.
We played in Deep Ellum. I played at, what's this other spot called? Something Rabbit. Then I played mostly at the House of Blues.
At the House of Blues.
Yeah, and we sell that out. Sold that out every time we played there.
Boy.
The thing I loved about Dallas, a lot of Kansas City people migrate to Dallas for some reason.
Yeah, you said that, I think.
And Dallas has amazing architecture downtown. So that always attracted me. I always said that I could possibly move there.
We can't wait. We'd love to have
It's a guy here from here that's a buddy of mine, produced all of this stuff for Cardi B, the early Cardi B.
Jay White. Jay White. Yeah.
I don't know if he's still lived there. I ain't talked to him.
Yeah, he does.
But he lived in Dallas.
Yeah, I know where he at. And we go to the same guitar center, so that's why they be telling me you need to bring him on your show.
You should.
Y'all both be over here. He follows me, then he be with my boy Lil Ronnie Mother F. So they all.
Ronnie from here?
No, Lil Ronnie from Dallas. It's a few of them. One Lil Ronnie daughter and him just got killed in Fort Worth, and that's right up the street from us.
Yeah, Fort Worth.
Did you see that in the news? Yeah.
I ain't here.
They got gunned down. They found the killers today. Well, they just found the last guy. The little daughter was 5. Her birthday was the day before. And somebody came. It was a hit because they came out and sprayed the cars. They run across the park with 2 choppers, just 2 dudes, man. And then he took off running to run from the car. And when he ran, I think he had already been hit. You know how somebody get hit and he really knew to run away from his daughter. He was trying to run away from the car because
so that he could draw them away.
Correct. Yeah. But when he ran, they followed him and gunned him down even close ran up on him. They didn't stop.
Yeah, they meant
it was crazy, man, and that's senseless killing 5 people. From, yeah, he died at the same time. 11:55, they died. Lil Ronnie died at like say 10. I think they killed him at 10:30 a.m. Mo3 got killed on 35 at 11:55.
I remember it was on 35
during the day. 11:55 in the middle, just like him. The same thing. Well, mid morning, he was at a car wash. I don't know none
of them. I just remember Mo3.
Oh yeah, Mo3, man, that music was different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That outside,
he was a creative guy.
I ain't heard nothing else like that outside.
Yeah, man, creative dude.
That was different, man. That was different.
I know. I recognize talent, man.
And you seen it, didn't you?
Yeah, I could tell he was a talented guy.
Man,
he was special.
Yeah,
but thank you, man. Thank you. I'm gonna get you out of here, man. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, man. God, dog, it just happy birthday.
I'm pleased to spend my birthday.
Man,
with you
thank you, man. We enjoyed you, man, the most, man. To be honest with you, and I just want to say thank you. And I say we love you. I always say that, man. And if you ever need me, you got my number. I've been had the same number for 28 years. Okay. And if I need to talk to somebody, I'm gonna hit you up because I know you know a lot of people. Well, I be going to a lot of cities.
Y'all have my wife's number, so I gotta make sure you got mine.
Man, give me your number, man.
I filter everything through her.
I get it, man.
I didn't know you, man. I didn't know.
Man, come on with it, baby.
I didn't know you.
You
man.
know me now.
I know you. Now we can exchange numbers. Right. Now I'm like, you gotta talk to the manager. Talk to the manager.
Man, thank you so much, man.
Crazy.
Well, you know, it could be the other way around. I met a guy today that was crazy, you know, a little bit, a little different. He wasn't crazy, but a little different. I ain't gonna say no name, a little different.
Yeah, we probably know him. Right. A little different.
Take it, man. I'm getting off here, man. Kansas City, Missouri. We love you, man. Boss Talk 101, man. Where the bosses talk.
Oh.